that you dream of once in a love divine. By your somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds flying. You that you dream of, dream will true. Someday when she falls down, the clouds will be behind. You somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds flying. Dream that you do, oh my, if Good morning. It's Rainbow Radio broadcasting live here from Laguna Beach on this beautiful day where it is, what is the temperature? It's 68 degrees here in Laguna Beach. And that makes it a beach day for us. So, you know, you should do what I do. Now that the summer crowd is kind of, you know, dwindling, and we, as some locals say, I don't know, that we have our community back. It's a good time to put your beach chair and a few beach towels and some beach accessories in your car, just in case you're driving by, you know, and you happen to say, oh, I think I need a little beach time. You just pull over wherever the beach is and you go for it in the middle of the afternoon. I've done it many times myself, and it's rejuvenating, let me tell you. So that's my thoughtful message of the day. Yeah, I'm so glad you're joining us. I do want to shout out, I think I have some listeners in Northern California, my dear brother and Mary. Hopefully they're able to tune in. And then my friend Fonjay, just to say that, you know, welcome to the crowd. Welcome to the fold. Anyway, I don't have any news as far as Laguna Beach Pride. We do have an event in December. It's December 14th. I believe it's a Sunday. And it's at Mozambique. And it is Drag Bingo with Endora. And it's a fundraiser for Laguna Beach Pantry. So, you know, around Christmas, not everyone has a fat turkey to roast or a fabulous meal to enjoy. So the pantry seems to make sense as a fundraiser for the nonprofit Laguna Beach Pride. And we're glad to be able to do something like that for the community. It's all about love, and it's all about caring for one another. That's and I'm unanimous in that. So I do have several things that are coming up. I wanted to do. I'm trying something new here. I do have a little wrapped up thing here about California, and you know, everyone wants to diss California. I'm sick and tired of it. So this is my response, folks. California, why we love her so much. And now the rest of the story. California, the Golden State, a place where the horizon has always seemed just a little farther and a little brighter, and the dreams a little bolder. It began with a glitter, James Marshall, spotting flecks of gold in the tail race of Sutter's Mill in 1948. That shimmer sparked the gold rush, and overnight, California became the world's dream factory. The world rushed in, chasing fortunes, and left behind something richer, diversity. Today, no state speaks more languages, cooks more cuisines, and tells more stories in more colors than California. It was here Levi Strauss turned miners' canvas tents into riveted denim pants. Yes, blue jeans, California born. And while miners chased gold, Hollywood chased stories. California gave the world its first feature-length film, Birth of a Nation, in 1915.
its first talking picture, The Jazz Singer, in 1927, and that curious little mouse named Mickey, who built the first modern theme park, Disneyland. But California doesn't just dream on screen, it dreams in silicon. And in a quiet Los Altos garage, two Stevens, Jobs and Wozniak, built Apple. In Menlo Park, a boy named Zuckerberg moved west and remade Friendship, the internet's first successful message, sent from UCLA in 1969. The word was supposed to be log in, only the first two letters got through. Low, as in hello. The internet's first words was a California hello. California was first in flight, well, almost. The Wright brothers got airborne first, but California gave us Howard Hughes and his flying behemoth, the Spruce Goose. And it was here that the space age launched, with rockets tested at Edwards Air Force Base, and later the space shuttle rolling down California freeways to its resting place at the California Science Center. But quirkiness, California has it in spades. San Luis Obispo is a home of the Bubblegum Alley, walls of chewed gum, sticky testaments to who knows what. Baker boasts the world's largest thermometer, or Baker, California. Fresno lays claim to the world's largest raisin box. And in Los Angeles, Angelinos once flocked to a restaurant shaped like a giant derby hat. Because in California, even lunch can be a spectacle. And then there's the Paradise Doo Dah Parade. Born in 1978 as a send-up to the famous Rose Parade. Where else can you see synchronized briefcases drill team, a squad of lawnmowers marching in step, or a band made entirely of kazoos? Only in California. Culture, California's led the way. The first openly gay elected official in America, Harvey Milk, rose from San Francisco's Castro district. The Black Cat Tavern protests in Los Angeles in 1967 were 3 years ahead of New York's Stonewall, proving California's rainbow spirit was already flying. And in 1978, Californians watched Dan White, a Twinkie defense, unfold in San Francisco courts. A moment equal parts tragedy and absurdity that galvanized a movement. California also gave us the first Summer of Love, Haight-Ashbury, 1967. The Grateful Dead, Janis Joplin, Jefferson Airplane wrote the soundtrack of Rebellion from San Francisco rooftops. And in Monterey, the first major rock festival crowned Jimi Hendrix as guitar god. When he lit his Fender on fire, he burned himself into music history. Food? California invented the fortune cookie, the Cobb salad, the French dip sandwich, and the Mission-style burrito. It was California wine in 1976 that humbled the French at their judgment in Paris, when Napa vintages beat Bordeaux in a blind tasting. Sushi rolls with avocado, California rolls, sourdough bread, perfect in San Francisco. Of course, California has had its less shining first. It was first in smog, Los Angeles, 1943, when residents thought they were under chemical attack, only to learn it was car exhaust. First in freeways and the traffic to match. And first to discover that when the earth itself is restless, you can't argue, you can only rebuild. Still, when the earth shakes, and when the fires burn, when the rivers flood, California rises, because this is a place where resilience is stitched into the seams, like those blue jeans. So why is California wonderful? Because it's a nation's laboratory. It's bold, if it's crazy, if it's outrageous, it's probably born here. Surfboards, skateboards, credit cards, iPhones, Disneyland, the internet, the Summer of Love, the first Pride parades. California has never been afraid to dream, and just as often to make those dreams real. And now you know the rest of the story.
Always around when the sky is spreading. I've been I would say the heart the possibility. Was such a something to I press you all the way. On your knees, not pretending to pray. You know me too like a hole. He knows I'm gonna say. California dreaming. I'm such a winning star. All the leaves are brown. And the sky is gray.
Oh, that's a fast end there on California Dreamin'. We are dreaming about California. We love California. I do have some going on with the political theme a little bit more because you know me. I always have to have an opinion, and not necessarily opinion, but maybe reporting the rest of the story. I will admit to opinions, and I do have an opinion later on today. But something happened this week that really Oh, that well, many things happen, but this one particular is about our military complex and what happened in the world that makes me very concerned. And so, with that, I'm going to go into another episode about the Department of War.
Rebranding. Hello, Americans. I'm Craig Cooley. Stand by for news. Once upon a time in America, we had a Department of Defense. That name was chosen after World War II, when the world longed for peace and the word defense suggested shields, not swords. A nation that sought to guard, not to conquer. But then came a president who knew the art of the deal, and perhaps even more, the art of the brand. Donald J. Trump. He never liked soft edges. He liked bold letters, bright logos, and names that sold. To him, defense sounded timid. War, now that had a punch. And so whispers began. The War Department might just be back. This wasn't the only makeover. You see, the Trump administration branded everything. Regulations weren't rolled back, they were liberated. Agencies weren't trimmed, they were unleashed. Diplomacy became deals, allies became competitors. Even America itself wasn't so much a country anymore, it was a brand. Hats, flags, rallies, slogans. Red, white, and blue became less about unity and more about product placement. We the people turned into we the brand, and suddenly Uncle Sam was in sales. But here's the catch. Rebranding a nation isn't as easy as slapping a gold nameplate on a skyscraper, because while a product can be sold, a country must still be led, and the rest of the world isn't a customer. And now you know the rest of the story.
Oh, brought to you by Rainbow
This
Radio.
has been today's Rainbow Radio commentary. Remember, words matter, names matter. And when leaders change the language, they change how we see ourselves. Stay vigilant, stay curious, and stay proud. This is Rainbow Radio, reminding that democracy is not a brand, it's a responsibility.
Oh, and there you have it. A responsibility. Let's take a little break from the political scene and let's move on to something that happens every year about this time. It's called September. And here's my tribute to September.
Leaves of brown came tumbling down. Remember in September, in the rain, I'm down just like a dime. Remember in September, in the rain. To every word of love I heard you speak. The raindrops seem to with refrain. Though spring is here, be it still September. That's September. Every word of love I heard you. September. That's September. In the rain. Rain. In the rain.
Oh, Deborah Cox. I love that version. The orchestration is fabulous. It's an old song redone. And here is another old song redone. Sabora Me by Edie Gourmet. Now, that means this literally, I believe it means the scent of me, the odor of me, or the the essence, let's say, of me. That sounds much better. Anyway, an old throwback to Edie Gourmet, where we mix up news with nostalgia with music here on Rainbow Radio. Welcome on this Sunday morning in September.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor, nuestras almas se acercaron tanto así, que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí.
Si negaras mi presencia en tu vivir, bastaría con abrazarte y conversar. Tanta vida yo te di que por fuerza tienes ya sabor a mí.
No pretendo ser tu dueña, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. De mi vida doy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años, muchos más, y yo no sé si tengamos la eternidad. Pero allá tal como aquí, en la boca llevará sabor a mí. De 1000 años, muchos más, yo no sé si tengamos la eternidad, pero allá tal como aquí, en la boca llevará sabor a mí. Sabor a mí.
My name is Henry Walker, and I'm a fourth-generation banker and CEO of Farmers and Merchants Bank. When my great-grandparents, Carrie and C.J. Walker, started F&M Bank 118 years ago, they made a pledge to help small businesses and working people achieve the American dream right here in a new land called California. We've been honing that vision ever since through 4 generations of family stewardship. We've worked to create a culture unlike any other bank in the nation, of purpose over profit, of service above self, of partnerships based on trust. We make banking personal. Our latest addition to the F&M family is our beautiful new Laguna Beach branch location at Glen Eyrie and Laguna Ave. We're here to help you realize your dreams of home ownership, financial planning, and starting or growing a business. Stop by. You never need an appointment. Our bankers are members of the community. They remember your name because we pride ourselves on genuine relationships, not transactional ones. F&M Bank, some things will always be. Stop by today. Member FDIC.
Rainbow Radio here, Craig, with the rest of the story. And now, imagine Uncle Sam offering you a check. Not for work you've done, not for years of service, but just for signing up. A check for $50,000. That's a carrot being dangled in front of new ICE recruits today. And on top of that, promises of salaries nearing 6 figures, padded by overtime bonuses and even student loan forgiveness. Sounds less like a job and more like a jackpot. But here's where that story grows murky. For all that taxpayers treasure, where's the measure? What does a job really require? What performance standards must these agents meet? And how are they held accountable? You can search the press releases, job postings, the policy pages. You'll find a glowing words about patriotism, about duty, about sacrifice. But what you won't find in plain public view is the actual blueprint. No clear description, no transparent evaluation procedures, no accountability framework that taxpayers can point to and say, yes, this is how my money is being put to work. The military has manuals outlining every recruit's training and conduct. The FBI publishes qualifications, salary scales, and standards in black and white. Even the Department of Veteran Affairs posts its performance evaluations like for doctors and nurses. But ICE, the agency empowered to detain, to deport, and to decide the fate of families, they wave a $50,000 carrot and hide the yardstick. And so the question isn't just about money, it's about trust. If we demand accountability at the corner diner, if we expect transparency from our teachers, our police, our military, should we not demand the same from or more from the agency that wields so much power over liberty itself? $50,000 buys recruits. But without transparency, it cannot buy trust, a bonus without a blueprint, a paycheck without public accountability. And now you know the rest of the story. So, dear listeners, here's your part in the story. Ask your representatives, demand from DHS the same transparency we expect from every corner of government. Call for job descriptions, call for performance evaluations, call for accountability, because in the end, silence is the most expensive thing of all.
And with that, I have an appropriate song.
Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby. Squeeze me oh so tight. Show me that you love me too. Put your lips next to mine, dear. Won't you kiss me once, baby? Just a kiss goodnight, baby. You and I will fall in love.
People say that love's a game you just can't win.
If there's a way, I'll find it someday, and then it's forward and shield. Put your head on my shoulder, whisper in my ear, baby, words I wanna hear. Tell me that you love me too. Put your head on my shoulder, whisper in my ear, baby, words I wanna hear. Baby, put your head on my shoulder.
Yes, sometimes you need to put your head on someone's shoulder and hold yourself up. especially these days. You know, I saw this little snippet I'm just going to share with you. I thought it was interesting, an interesting thought. Let's just say that. Well, first of all, Put Your Head on My Shoulder is by a group called Life in 3D. They're from Tempe, Arizona. They are three siblings, two brothers and a sister. And they harmonize so well. And they have several songs they have out, but that's one of my favorite that they've done. But it's so heartwarming to see these siblings together enjoying music. And music is such a powerful thing to do. And the songs they sing some classic ones, they sing some of their own. But if you want to check them out, it's on YouTube, Life in 3D. You won't be disappointed. New songs, old songs, everything. And I think the most heartwarming thing is to watch the siblings sing and looking at each other and enjoying what they're doing. It's a real heartwarming experience. And, we have family. We all have family and we love them. And I especially love them when you see siblings together enjoying life and sharing the moment, like I do with my brother Brian when we sing Love Potion #9. It's a family thing, okay? you got to understand. Anyway, back to this little snippet that I found. I thought this was interesting commentary. It goes, pretty sure the guy who had to pay a $25 million penalty for running a fake university shouldn't have the say in Harvard's policies and what they're allowed to teach. Makes sense to me. The irony of it all. Where's I'm mad as hell and I'm not taking it anymore. Oh my. So let's lighten it up a little bit here. I do have some fun, crazy, and quirky news that you didn't know you needed. How about that? Paul Harvey, announcer style, says, "Hello, America." and hello, and hello, Rainbow Radio listeners. I've gathered a handful of headlines. They're quirky, they're curious, and they just might make you grin because sometimes the news doesn't need to be heavy and make an impact. Especially today. So sit back, stand by, and prepare yourself for the rest of the story. Here we go. Story 1. When the sun gets frisky, as in a solar flare, Mother Nature is at it again on its very own sun. The big ball of fire in the sky has opened up a coronal, I want to say something else and it's not good, coronal hole, which sounds less about science and more about something you'd order at the donut shop. Well, that's not what I had in mind, but anyway, I digress. Now that hole is blowing solar wind straight towards Earth. That's a solar flare, if you didn't know, which means tonight the skies could shimmer with dancing neon lights. Think Northern Lights, but maybe Southern too. And a cosmic drag show mixed in, complete with green sequins and red spotlight beams. Okay, no, it's not the end of the world. It's just the sun flaring its personality. So there you go. Story 1. Story 2. Life is strange. And now a soap opera. Nearly a decade ago, a video game captured the hearts with a teenage girl who could rewind time. You remember that one? Most of us, mostly to fix bad crushes and worse decisions. Now Amazon, or MGM, has given the green light to turn Life is Strange into a TV series. And in Hollywood's own pilot twist, Margot Robbie is one of the producers. Yes, Harvey Quinn wants you to binge and watch a teen angst and superpowers. I don't know that I'm terribly into teen angst, but the superpowers part sounds fun. So buckle up, folks. Soon you'll have a show where every episode ends with more drama than your Aunt Shirley's Facebook posts. And now you know why time travel is best left to Hollywood. Moving along to story 3 of the strange and quirky and things you thought you didn't need to know, but you do. Dateline, Wisconsin. A driver just sold its 1 millionth a diner just sold its 1 millionth cheeseburger. 1 million. That's more patties than there are Packers fans. I don't know. There's a lot of Packers fans, right, Joe Meitzel? And that's saying something. The historic burger was bought by a 92-year-old woman. She smiled, raised her ketchup-stained hands to the heavens, and declared she'd been training for this moment her entire life. So her prize, free fries. Oh, wow, for life. Which at her age is either a blessing or a cosmic joke. Story 4. Penguins on parade. In San Diego, penguins must have a new luxury habitat. They have chilled pools, private caves, seafood delivered daily. That's right, penguins now get better room service than the most of us on vacation. But here's the twist. One penguin keeps sneaking out to hang with the flamingos. Oh, why? Because sometimes even in the animal kingdom, you just prefer your friends to be a little more colorful. Isn't that sweet? Next, story 5, Shakespeare in heels. And in New York, a troupe decided the witches of Macbeth needed a makeover. Out went the warts and broomsticks, and in came sequins, stilettos, and fog machines. This does sound fun. And yes, witches were drag queens. The children sparkled, the crowd roared, and for the first time in history, Bubble, Bubble, Toil, and Trouble ended with a standing ovation. Critics called it a most fabulous curse Scotland has ever seen. Next, oh my. So with the sun flirting with Earth and teenagers are bending time on TV, Wisconsin's counting burgers instead of ballots, penguins are sneaking off to pink parties, and Shakespeare's witches, honey, they've never looked so good in heels. And now you know the rest of the story. You know, sometimes we need to have a good laugh once in a while. Absolutely. What can I say? Yeah. So with that, I do have a vivid. Well, I have another song that kind of relates to quirky things and documents, and you'll just have to listen to it. Here we go.
No rap I learned in high school. It's a wonder I can think at all. And my lack of education hasn't hurt me none. I can read the writing on the wall. Oh, that's all. Green stars makes you think all to a sunny day. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, but I look for the grass and the day. If you took all the girls I knew when I was single, brought them all together for one night, I know they never match my sweet imagination. Everything looks worse in black and white. Oh, it's all. So sunny day, oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, don't take my Kodachrome. Keep those cameras taking those pictures and videos. And when someone does something that's less than honorable, make sure that it's recorded. And when someone does something that's very honorable, make sure that's recorded and shared. That is our new culture here in the year 2025. Reminds me of an old song. In the year 2525. Oh, no, 2025. Well, anyway, it's an old song. And I'm old, so I forget these things. So anyway, it's some good news. Okay, let's move right along here. And it plays into a commentary. I have a commentary and opinion. Yeah, I do. Uh, that, with all this political stuff going on, and particularly Epstein, let's just go right there. Okay. And all that, while that's horrible, I really, really would like to see the law and order and following the Constitution and our rules of law and order uh, be the thing that that takes it all, not some scandal about some horrible things going on, but some legal issues that settle justly would make me feel good. So here is one thing that came up this last week. Judge orders Trump to restore hundreds of diversity, equity, and inclusion web pages. Now, if you're just tuning in for the first time, I've talked about DEI many times, and DEI stands for diversity, equality, and inclusion. It is not a special rights. It's not giving favor to anyone. If you're a white male American, it's giving you the same equal opportunity and representation as a brown American or any other color of American out there. It's about treating everyone fairly. And in some large corporations, sometimes treating everyone fairly falls through the cracks. So many corporations, including Target and many other, Microsoft, they all have policies that say we will not discriminate. And to make sure that they don't discriminate and they treat everyone fairly, they create policies that are DEI, about diversity, equality, and inclusion. So that, again, it's about treating everyone fairly. Now, I think it's honorable that a business would have this in their works. And let's call it what it is. It's an let's include everyone policy. Let's not exclude anyone policy. That's what it is. And for that, they've been criticized. And I think last week I talked about how severely Target was criticized for having that and having marketing products that were LGBTQ oriented, and they lost a tremendous amount of money and a lot of fun. That's another whole topic. But anyway, here is something that I liked in the news that came out this week. The U.S. government has been ordered to restore dozens of web pages on gender identity, diversity, equality, and inclusion, DEI, as part of a court settlement. It doesn't get everything, but it's a start. District Court Judge Lauren King ordered the Trump administration's Department of Health and Human Services to restore hundreds of web pages removed from government sites under the orders of President Trump. Several nonprofits sued the U.S. government over Trump's issued of an executive order in January. And it goes on. Affected websites include the National Institute of Health, HIV risk reduction tool, and a frequently asked page on Mpox treatment, and hundreds of sites on health and issues affecting the LGBTQ plus community. As part of the agreed settlement, finalized on Tuesday, September 2nd, the government must restore the data and cease the deletion of further resources. So that's good. It's about being sensible. It's expected to restore web pages on pregnancy risk, opioid use and disorder, and HIV data, and much more. Dr. John Bramhall, WSMA president, said the following, following the judgment, that it was extremely proud of the healthcare community for pushing back on this egregious example of government overreach. So there you have it. Some good news. So please, don't rain on my parade.
To live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly. Simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? I'm out my band now. Your turn at bat, sir. At least I didn't fake it at the. I guess I didn't make it, but whether I'm the rose of sheer perfection or freckle on the nose of nice complexion, the cinder or the shiny apple of its eye. I gotta die once, only can die once. Right far. Ooh, life is juicy, juicy, and you are gonna have my bite. Get ready for me, love, for summer. I simply gotta march my heart for drama. Don't bring around a cloud of rain on my parade. Gonna live and live now. What I want, I know how. One roll for the whole shebang. One throw that bell with the clang. Eye on the target and wham. One shot and hey, Mr. R.D. I'll march my best. Turn that back, at least I didn't fake it, hot, guess I didn't make it, get ready for me, love, cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march my heart, and I know, but I don't nobody.
Oh, that was a little diversion there. Don't rain on my parade. I can't help it. Every time I hear that song, I think I visualize a big busty drag queen singing, belting it out in a cabaret, just bringing the house down. What a vision for Barbra Streisand. I can't help it. It's all good. So moving along, I sometimes life you realize just how precious life is and how blessed we are with every day we're here and we're not in the big sleep. And I had every once in a while we're all reminded, and so I had a shocking reminder this last couple of weeks of someone I dearly, dearly love who is not being dealt the best hand. And sometimes you have to say to yourself, life is not fair. Sometimes you have to say that life happens and it's not always fair. And this dear person, dear friend of mine who has done so much with her life to embrace life on so many levels, traveling the world, doing things that, not a wealthy person, a hardworking, loving, caring person, but doing a lot of things. And it's my dear friend Lynn in the UK. And every summer she would come to visit. Do you have friends like that? People that you don't always see all the time, well, because we're continents apart, but someone you have that innate connection, something that pulls at the heartstrings and says, this person is just very special in your world. And that's my relationship with my dear friend Lynn. And she always spoke of a song that she loved that kind of reflects her life. And I want to play it now because I think it is my message to my dear friend Lynn and the unfair card she's been dealt. And I wish her the best. I'm sending all the cosmic energy I can send to her. And with that, let's just play this song for my dear Lynn.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some are gone and some remain. All these places had their meanings. With lovers and friends, I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more.
Sometimes we forget how fragile life can be. and how important it is to tell the people that you love them, and send a message and tell them you care. I always like to talk about even the person on the street. You know, I always say a wink, a nod, and a smile can go a great distance to making the world a better place. And that's something I've learned, I think, in my 30 years of hotel experience and working with the public, that just a simple a simple smile can go so far with everyone, and especially in this day, the way things are going, it seems it's needed more than ever. Anyway, thanks for tuning in on Rainbow Radio. It's the top of the hour, and with that, we have the news and weather.
KXRN LP, Laguna Niguel, Laguna Beach. KXFM on 104.7. KXFMradio.org.
Hey there, what's up, Laguna? I'm Janice Murray here with news. 2 town halls you'll want to know about. The first is the chance for a Q&A with the new superintendent of the Laguna Beach Unified School District. The series of meetings will focus on what the district should continue, what needs to change, and new opportunities to consider. Each meeting will be from 6 to 7:30 p.m. and will start September 8th at the high school library, the second on September 10th at Top of the World Elementary School, and the third at El Moro Elementary School on September 16th, and the final one at Thurston Middle School on September 30th, all from 6 to 7:30 p.m. The other town hall will focus on the homeowners insurance crisis in California on September 18th in City Council chambers. Representatives from the California State Department of Insurance, along with reps from our own fire department, will be there to answer your questions on insurance and emergency preparedness. That's Thursday, September 18th from 4 to 5:30 p.m. in City Council chambers. And I'm Janice Murray for news on 104.7 KXFM. And now here's Dave.
Good morning, Janice. Good morning, everybody. Not a lot of change in our weather pattern. Big deal is today is the full moon, the full corn moon of September. Also expect some big tidal swings with that being in the full moon time. Now, the object that's going to be close to the moon will be the planet Saturn. On this Sunday, look for some early morning clouds, then sunny skies. Temperatures much like yesterday, the beach 75, 76, the hilltop, the canyon 74. Tonight, a delightful evening again. Boy, the evenings have been spectacular. Partly cloudy skies, 63 for the overnight low. Then on Monday, early clouds and sunshine, again right around 75 degrees. Then we turn a little bit cooler. Tuesday, 72. Wednesday and Thursday, the high temperature 69, 70 with a little thicker marine layer as we go through the week ahead. That's my forecast. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray. Tune in, turn on to KXFM 104.7, Laguna's Community Radio.
Hey, music fans, this is Kevin Ware, and I'm inviting you to Kevin's Beach every Monday at 8 p.m. for creative and unpredictable sets of songs and sounds featuring a boatload of genres such as jazz, rock, and post-rock, punk, and post-punk, ambient, and electronica. Don't forget to hang out at Kevin's Beach Mondays at 8 p.m. on KXFM, Laguna's Community Radio, 104.7 FM in Laguna Beach, and KXFMradio.org.
This disclaimer is a statement notifying listening audiences that any opinions expressed on our shows are not representative of Laguna Radio, Inc., its management, or its board of directors.
Oh, when I'm back after the news, Craig, Rainbow Radio. I should say that if you want to send me a message regarding content or suggestions or events that are coming up or things that you feel are important and should share with me, please send me an email. It's craig@rainbow-radio.org. craig@rainbow-radio.org. I read all my messages and I appreciate the input. Good, bad, and indifferent. It's all fair play. So there you have it. I do have another a news segment here that yeah, hold on a second here. I do, and with that, I let's just leap right. Well, I should give you a bit of an introduction. It's about the staff. I'm still going on about politics. I'm sorry if you find this not to your interest. I apologize, but I do feel that there's so many things going on that should be fair and equitable and honorable that are not so necessarily those things. And so by not speaking up and not saying things that I feel are unfair, I feel I am complacent. So I feel I do have a bit of a responsibility there to speak up. And so here's another news article, and it talks about our federal government and the new administration, and a little bit how it came about. No further need to introduction here.
Good morning, America. Craig Cooley here with the rest of the story. Now then, have you ever noticed how presidents surround themselves, not just cabinet members and advisors, but with people they trust? Ronald Reagan, once a movie star himself, filled his staff with politicos and policy men. Hardly a news anchor among them. Bill Clinton, his aides were campaign pros. A few of them later became media stars. George Stephanopoulos, for instance, after the White House, but not before. George W. Bush, he had just one, Tony Snow, a Fox News host who became his press secretary. One man, not a movement. Barack Obama, the brain trust was policy works and speechwriters, not TV personalities. Later, many of them went on to CNN and MSNBC, but inside his West Wing, anchors were nowhere to be found. And then came Donald Trump, a man who understood television because he lived television. And when he stepped into the White House, he opened the door wide to his favorite network, Fox News. In his first administration, you saw the beginnings, but by his second, the floodgates opened. 23 former Fox News hosts, contributors, commentators, some promoted to the highest ranks in government. Names like Pete Hegseth, Monica Crowley, Janine Pirro, household names not for writing policy papers, but for reading teleprompters. And here's where it gets interesting. Because Fox News itself, when pressed in court during a $1 billion defamation suit, admitted their broadcasts were not to be taken as factual news. They characterized their primetime lineup as entertainment that sometimes played fast and loose with the truth. And they paid $787 million to Dominion Voting Systems for broadcasting false claims about the 2020 election, the largest media defamation settlement in American history. So think about this. A network that in court claims its programs were entertainment, not journalism, has now become one of the greatest talent pipelines for the President of the United States. More former TV spots in this cabinet and senior staff than all other presidents combined. That's not a policy as usual. That's programming. So why Reagan had Hollywood and Clinton had campaigners, Obama had academics, Donald Trump, he had Fox News. And now you know the rest of the story.
And that brings me to an appropriate song. I don't know. I have so many appropriate songs. Here's yet another one.
want to break free. I want to break free. I want to break free from your lies. Yeah, so self-satisfied. I don't need you. Got to break free. Got to break free. I've fallen in love. Fallen in love. That is with me. Fallen in love. Yeah. Stop. But life still goes on. I can't get used to living without you by my side. I was
Oh, Queen, and I want to break free. Sometimes that's the way we feel. So let's break free with a more recent music contribution. Benson Boone, he's just such good energy. If you haven't seen him, you got to go. He's on this tour that is breaking tour records after tour records. I don't know. I hope it doesn't kill him because, man, the number of tours, concerts he's engaged in the different locations, and the theatrics that go with his performances it's amazing. So you can all check it out on YouTube if you want, and also there's tons and tons of Instagram and TikTok and where people have recorded him live, and that's kind of fun too. But anyway, here is something to cleanse our palate.
For a while there it was rough, but lately I've been doing better than the last 4 cold Decembers I recall. And I see my family every month. I found a girl my parents love. She'll come and stay the night, and I think I might have it all. And I thank God every day for the girl He sent my way. But I know the things He gives, He can take away. And I hold you every night. And that's a feeling I wanna get used to. But there's no man as terrified as the man who stands to lose you. Oh, I hope I don't lose you. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please don't take. I found my mind, I'm feeling sane. It's been a while, but I'm finding my faith. If everything's good and it's great, why do I sit and wait till it's gone? Oh, I tell you, I know I've got enough. I've got peace and I've got love. But I'm up and I thinking I just might lose it all. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. I need these beautiful things that I've got.
That's a pretty powerful message. Please Stay by Benson Boone. And he has he's recorded some, I'll get it next week, but he's recorded some songs that are not of his own, but classics. And they're kind of fun to listen to as well. So I'll bring those to you next week. Then I want to follow that with a crazy song because it's all about romance, and finding romance. Apparently he found it and he wants it to stay, but you got to find it first. So, here we go.
Cupid, draw back your bow and let your arrow go straight to my lover's heart for me. For me. Cupid, please hear my cry and let your arrow fly straight to my lover's heart for me. Now, I don't mean to bother you, but I'm in distress. There's danger of me losing my happiness. For I love a girl who doesn't know I exist, and that you can fix. So, Cupid, draw back your bow and let your arrow go straight to my lover's heart for me. Nobody but me. Cupid, hear my cry and let your arrow fly straight to my lover's heart for me. Now, Cupid, if your arrow make a love stone for me, I promise I will love her until eternity. I know between the two of us, her heart we can steal. Help me if you will. So, Cupid, draw back your bow and let your arrow go straight to my lover's heart for me. Nobody but me. You better hear my cry. Let your arrow fly straight to my lover's heart for me. Now, you better, don't you hear me calling you? I need you. Cupid, help me. I need you. Cupid, don't fail.
Hi, we're Graham and Rio. We are students in the Flow program at Laguna Beach High School. Keeping your home safe from wildfires starts with a simple step, cleaning under your deck or porch. It doesn't take long for leaves, dried grass, brush, and other debris to build up, creating a serious fire hazard. These dry materials can ignite easily from a wind-driven ember of an approaching wildfire. A small spark is all it takes.
Hi, my name is Rio. The good news, prevention is easy. Take 30 minutes or so to clear out flammable items from under your deck. It will make a big difference in protecting your home and family.
This message is brought to you by Greater Laguna Coast Fire Safe Council and station KXFM 104.7, Laguna's Community Radio.
Oh, we love it. We love it. And I'm Craig, and I'm back to my politics as usual. I just can't give it up. I have a voice, you know. So here is an article that if you've been following the news much lately, that there's a message that 7 wars have been ended by the current administration. So I wanted to know what those wars were and how they were ended. You know, a few more details rather than just, oh, I heard, well, there were 7, maybe even more was the quote, maybe even 10 wars, you know, I've ended by, so you've heard the headlines. Trump says he ended not 1, not 2, but 7 wars. 7. Well, he actually said 7, 8, maybe even 10. He was prattling on. Now that sounds like history in the making, a peacemaker for the ages. But let's take a closer look. Wait a minute here. Yes, Trump can point to a few places where the tensions were cooled down. Israel and Iran, the rockets stopped for now. India and Pakistan, ceasefire held through though India insists America had nothing to do with it. Rwanda and the Congo, a shaky handshake, but rebels still march outside the deal. Armenia and Azerbaijan, they signed a peace paper, but no treaty followed. And the other wars, Trump says he has ended. Some were never really wars at all. Egypt and Ethiopia, just an argument over a dam. Siberia and Kosovo, still frozen in their old disputes. Thailand and Cambodia, a border flare-up that fizzled out, as most do. The truth, experts say maybe 4 of these 7 had some American fingerprints. But ending wars, not quite. More like pressing pause on quarrels that were already cooling or taking credit for weather, calming a river. Behind the curtain, there is another motive. You see, Mr. Trump has long dreamed of of one prize above the other. The White House, not the spotlight, the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, this is my opinion, so folks, don't get upset at the station. We can entertain all kinds of opinions on the station, and you're welcome to share your opinion with me. He has lobbied for the Peace Prize. He's pleaded for it, even claimed he already deserved it. So when he tells you he ended 7 wars, you might just hear the echo of Oslo, Norway, or where Nobel medals are minted. Did he really end them? A reasonable person looking at the facts might say no. At best, he helped nudge along some ceasefires, which is a very honorable thing to do. At worst, he's pinning medals on himself for parades that never marched. And now you know the rest of the story. What is it good for? That's the question there. Eric Burden and the Animals. That's an old song. That's a shame because it's still true today, I think. Media has we criticize media a lot, but I do think media has put a damper on some major wars like we had World War One, World War Two, because I think media, for the first time, particularly during the Vietnam War, which is before most of my listeners are out there, but that was a war, probably the most recent significant war, where we lost 40,000, I think it was like 40,000 troops, maybe more. Anyway, it was because of media and news and the new techno age, the new social media age at that time was television. And it brought the horrors of war into everyone's living room for the first time, where you could see firsthand the atrocities, and it was not a welcome thing, and it caused a lot of angst, and even 4 students were killed at Kent State in some protests. So it was a dark time, but I do think that social media has had an influence, and if we can have a little humor and laugh at ourselves at trying to do things, and if we try things and they don't work out, we should laugh a little and try the next best thing. And so that brings me to many things that I do have an opinion that I want to share, and it'll be my last opinion of the morning. And then everyone can go out and have, mix up a Bloody Mary on this one, okay? Because I'm stepping away from facts. I'm making assumptions, and I'm making opinion as part of it. There are some facts in it, but mostly opinion here. I have an opinion about the recent meeting between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. When they sat down behind closed doors for over an hour, the world was told it was a discussion about international relations and mutual interests. That sounds honorable and good. But I don't think that's the full story, and that's my opinion. And I don't think we should kid ourselves. I think the meeting was less about treaties and trade and more about Trump's survival. Yep. The question wasn't how we stabilize Europe or how we ease tensions in the Ukraine. I think the real question Trump was desperate to ask was, how do I stay in power forever? And who better would know how to stay in power forever than Putin? Putin is the world's premier expert on bending democratic systems until they break. He's rewritten Russia's constitution, neutralized opposition, muzzled the press. Does that sound familiar? And ensured elections are little more than pageantry. Trump, ever the admirer of autocrats, didn't need a translator to understand that playbook. So my opinion, so for an hour, I think the conversation was strangely and was like tutoring, maybe strategy. The masterclass from Putin to Trump on how to undermine institutions, how to turn courts into tools, how to make loyal. This is my opinion, folks, that this could be what's going on. I'm suggesting this could be what was happened. How to make loyalty more important than the law, and how to stay seated in power long after the people stop choosing you. So, what has Donald Trump done since this meeting that may position him to consolidate power and potentially extend his influence, especially actions targeting mail-in voting and which critics argue affect electoral outcomes? So since the meeting, Trump has launched a concerted effort to reshape how Americans vote, particularly through targeting mail-in ballots, asserting unprecedented federal control over elections, over the states, with states that are supposed to run their own elections. While these steps are positioned as election integrity measures, most experts and voting right advocates view them as authoritarian-leaning maneuvers that could ultimately make it easier for him to maintain or extend political power. So you see, that's why I think this meeting mattered, not because it was secretive, not because aides were excluded. That makes more sense now, doesn't it? Because the very idea of democracy was excluded. Trump didn't walk away with diplomatic breakthroughs. I feel he walked away with instructions. And if you look closely at the words and actions since, you can see him trying to follow them. So it was never about America's role in the world. It was about Trump's role in America. And now you know the rest of the story. Anyway, that is a very, very probably controversial opinion. And I am all about sharing opinions. So again, if you want to get a hold of Greg at rainbow-radio.org, please send me a message, and all messages I read. And that is the deal. So on this beautiful Sunday morning, I do have a Jamie Cullum song that is about what we can do immediately. Next week, I will have a program on what we can do as far as signing petitions and who to call and maybe amplify our voices, whatever your voice may be. And so stay tuned for next week when that is going to be more of a focus. But right now, let's talk about making people happy with Jamie Cullum.
Make someone happy.
Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart the heart you sing to. One smile that cheers you. One face that lights when it's near you. One girl, you're everything to. Fame, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff of life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you found her, build your world around her, make someone happy, make just one someone happy, and you will be happy too. Fame, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff of life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you found her, build your world around her. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. And I'm running out of time. It feels inside. Not happy ever. Be happy ever after. You could say that I'm living in a fine dream. Just looking back. Things I never wanted to see. And now I can safely say now most things go my way now. I'll be happy ever after. Down in southern Africa. You're happy ever after. Not now, soon, forever. While the city of darkness, and that white must be happy. Happy ever after. Don't ask me why. I'm running out of love. Tears in these eyes. Not happy ever after. It's plain to see that love. Baby, you need that love. Happy ever after.
That is Julia Fordham, and it's Happy Ever After. And that was in the 80s and 90s, was a tribute song to HIV, the crisis. And it was on KKSF in San Francisco. They did a all dedicated music, and it's a wonderful, wonderful album of a collection of songs that were. And so I don't know why I draw back to that and find it. They were great songs. I don't know. And the next song I want to play is just, I don't know why. It's just one that's been, I love the words, and it explains a lot of angst that's maybe some young person is going through in their life as in high school and maybe in college, and the strife and struggles that are very real. And it's called At 17. And I'm sure you've all heard it before, but I don't think I've ever played it in the 7 years I've been on the air. So here we go.
I learned truth at 17, that love was meant for beauty queens, and high school girls with clear skin smiles, married young and then retired. The Valentines I never knew, the Friday night charades of youth, were spent on one more beautiful. At 17 I learned truth. And those of us with ravaged faces, lacking in the social graces, desperately remained at home, inventing lovers on the phone, who called to say, come dance with me, and murmured vague obscenities. It isn't all it seems. It's 17. A brown-eyed girl in hand-me-downs, whose name I never could pronounce, said, pity please the ones who serve. They only get what they deserve. Rich relation, hometown queen, marries into what she needs with a guarantee of company and haven for the elderly. Remember those who win the game the love they sought to gain in debentures of quality and dubious integrity. The small town eyes will gape at you in dull surprise when payment due, seeds accounts received at 17. To those of us who knew the pain of Valentines that never came, and those whose names were never called when choosing sides for basketball. It was long ago. The world was younger than today, and dreams were all they gave for free to ugly duckling girls like. We all play the game when we dare to cheat ourselves at solitaire, inventing lovers on the phone, repenting of the lives unknown. They called and say, "Come dance with me," murmur vague obscenities. But ugly girls like me at 17.
Oh, at 17, I do have one more song that I don't think I've ever played, but it's kind of along the same line because you can listen to the words. And then we'll get on to some happy stuff. But anyway, one more thoughtful song, please. And please enjoy it.
Starry, starry night. Paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills. Sketch the trees and the daffodils. Catch the breeze and the winter chills in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Starry, starry night. Flaming flowers that brightly blaze. Swirling clouds in violet haze. Reflect in Vincent's eyes of china blue. Colors changing hue. Morning fields of amber grain. Weathered faces lined in pain are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now, for they could not love you. But still your love was true. And when no hope was left inside on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night. Portraits hung in empty halls. Frameless heads on nameless walls. With eyes that watch the world and can't forget. Like the strangers that you've met. The ragged men in ragged clothes. A silver thorn, a bloody rose. Lie crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Now I think I know what you tried to say to me, to how you suffered for your sanity, to how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never did. Now, don't you be in baby? Let me I give one little day. Out you, you're one thing, deep in your life, let me go away. Gonna be there with you. Gotta go one day. Yeah. I want that red velvet. I want that sugar sweet. Don't let nobody touch it unless that somebody's me. I gotta be a man. There ain't no other way. Screw you harder than a Southern California day. I don't wanna play no game. You gotta be afraid.
Don't we all need some sugar once in a while? It's the end of the second hour of Rainbow Radio. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the program and the messages that I try to put out there about things that I think are important. And I will remind everyone, you can get a hold of me at craig@rainbow-radio.org. That's my email, craig@rainbow-radio.org. And I hope to hear from you. Until next week, please enjoy the day. I hope I hope it was a day of enlightenment and some fun along the way, the journey this morning. And I will be back next week. I believe I have a couple call-ins next week, and if you're subscribed to the emails from Rainbow Radio, you will get notifications about them. You can always go to rainbowradio.org and drop your email in there so that you're sure to get all the updates on the programming and what's going on. And so I am out of here. Enjoy the day. Love the day. Hope you I hope you enjoy the beach a little bit, because the city is ours again to enjoy after Labor Day, and looking forward to going out there myself. Anyway, love you. Thanks for tuning in.
This land is your land, and this land is my land. From the California to the New York Island, the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. As I went a walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway.